The 1967 Swedish Rally, Erik Karlsson enters the last lap. A new generation of Saab drivers, such as Åke Andersson and Kalle Orenius, is already established. But in the 1967 Swedish Rally, Finland produces the best Saab drivers. Simo Lampinen finishes in second place. Rallying has entered a new phase in which professionalism, better service and organization, and a new set of rules are the main features. And having retired the two-strokes, Saab launches its V4 on the circuits. In the production version, the engine delivers 65 horses, but even in the first event, Saab mechanics managed to squeeze 93 out of it. According to the Ford factory, the engine would fall to pieces if pushed beyond 95. In the 1971 Swedish Rally, Saab urges 145 horsepower out of the engine. Quite modest compared to the opposition, Björn Valdegård's Porsche delivers 220 horses. Timo Mäkänen's Ford Escort is also 220. Harry Shellstrom's Lancia pushes out 200. Uwe Eriksson runs a Rally Cadet with 190 horses. And Lasse Nyström's BMW also delivers 190. Saab's rally stables have now been joined by some of the biggest names since Erik Karlsson, Per Eklund and Stig Blomqvist. Stig was to dominate the Swedish Rally virtually unchallenged during the 1970s, with victories such as this one in 1971. Victory in 1972. Victory in 1973, Per in second place. The 1974 rally is abandoned because of the oil crisis. In 1975, Stig leads by 9 seconds at half-time, but a fault in the ignition coil puts him out of the race on the racetrack in Karlstad. Per, who started in the same heat, pushes Stig around the circuit for the rest of the laps and over the finishing line. Stig takes a penalty time of 500 seconds, but wins most of the special sections in the second stage and crosses the finish line in second place overall. Per comes fourth. The winner is Björn Valdegård in a Lancia Stratos. In 1976, Stig and Per put up a thrilling fight in the forests of Värmland. The two stablemates wage an exciting battle for every second. At half-time, Per is ahead of Stig by 14 seconds. Saab's team management can do nothing to stop the dust-up in the forest. Per wins, and Stig takes second place. The following year, Stig reverses the order, then in a Saab 99, but that's another story. Back to the V4 and 1971, and the Safari Rally. Stig Blomqvist and Tom Trona are entered as the Saab drivers, but Tom falls ill just before the event. Mechanic Bernd Malin Melin takes over the car and the starting number, but his competition license is still in Sweden. The license arrives telegraphically. Malin starts and finishes in 18th place out of the 33 cars that finished the course. How about Stig? He lost a front wheel once and changed the gearbox twice and finished in 13th place. It's strange that the Safari Rally is always so tough for Saab. Things certainly look up in the British RAC Rally, but Erik Karlsson's successes of the early 1960s are not easy to live up to. Simo Lampinen takes up the challenge in the 1968 Rally. He wins, and Kalle Orenius, also in a Saab, comes second. And the Saabs are more than an hour ahead of the third car. This is a true international breakthrough for the V4. And successes keep coming. Kalle Orrenius again takes second place in 1969. The 1971 RAC Rally. Stig Blomqvist, Per Eklund and Kalle Orrenius compete for Saab. The weather in Britain is the worst in living memory, and that's just what the Saabs thrive on. But other competitors are not so enthusiastic. Stig wins, Kalle comes third and Per in seventh place, and they win a team victory into the bargain. But 1972 marks the end of the line. The Saab drivers push themselves and their cars to the limit. Stig comes second, but it's becoming obvious that the V4 has reached the horsepower limit. It now delivers 165. But that's no match for the well over 200 horses under the bonnet of Roger Clark's Ford Escort. The V4 is simply no longer man enough for European competitions, and that's becoming clearer and clearer as the decade advances. The engines are overtuned, come what may, and what came in the 1975 RAC Rally was engine seizure for both Stig and Per. The V4 truly comes into its own in the ice and snow of the Scandinavian rallies. Per Eklund, the daredevil from Värmland with his wide and sweeping style, gets on famously in Norway and wins several Norwegian rallies in the early 1970s. And in Finland, Stig Blomqvist fights for all he's worth, not only against the competitors, but also against the radar speed checks between special sections. The Finns are not keen on Swedes who drive too fast, and speed checks are the artful dodge the Finns use to stop foreigners with a scent of victory. But that doesn't stop Stig from winning both the Hankey Rally and the Jyväskylä Rally in 1971. He repeats his Hankey Rally victory in 1972, and then again in 1977. But to give them their due, Finnish drivers are the greatest obstacle to Swedish victories in Finnish rallies, with Simo Lampinen at the head of the pack, in a Saab too. Simo wins the Hankey Rally 3 times in a row in the late 1960s, and then again in 1977. He wins the Jyväskylä Rally in 1972 and the Arctic Rally in 1975. Saab's Finnish importer sets up his own rally stables in the early 1970s with a batch of blue and white Saabs. The team gradually crystallizes. In addition to Simo, it includes Tapio Rainio and Jari Vilkas. Tapio wins the Arctic Rally in 1974 and comes first in both the Arctic Rally and the Hankey Rally in 1976. By this time, the V4 is still competitive only in Scandinavia. The engine now pushes out 175 horses and has almost nothing more to give. In comparison, the Lancia Stratos delivers around 275 horsepower. The Ford Escort 240, the Fiat 131 Abarth gives 215, and its rivals are more than 100 kilograms lighter than the V4. It's only the Renault Alpine that the V4 can match in power, but the Alpine is 300 kilos lighter. Saab's competition management has long cast covetous glances at the 99, but it was not until 1973 that development of the competition car began. It's the Saab 99 EMS on which the competition car is based. In the production version, the engine delivers 110 horsepower. So it's tuned to 165, but that's not enough. The 99 became internationally competitive only after Saab developed a competition cylinder head with 4 valves per cylinder and twin overhead camshafts. In its maiden race at Boucle de Spa in January 1976, the 16-valve 99 has 220 horses under the bonnet, and the results it achieves are beyond all expectations. Stieg romps home to victory. But life has its ups and downs. In the Jyväskylä rally later in the year, the belly plate under the engine gives way. Both Stieg and Per damage their gearboxes and retire from the race. Stieg in the first special stage and Per in the fourth. They see the rest of the rally as spectators. The RAC rally in November gives ample proof that the Boucle de Spa victory was not a flash in the pan. A double puncture robs Stieg of victory, but he finishes second after Roger Clark in a Ford. The 1977 Swedish rally. Snow, ice, slippery conditions, and bitter cold. This is the ultimate test for the car. And it's a return match for Stieg and Per. Per had won the year before. Per takes the lead, but over-revs the engine and retires after a couple of stages. Stieg drives more carefully and is just in the lead at half-time. He then pulls away and wins the rally hands down. But success never lasts forever. New rules put the 16-valve engine out of contest. The new rules have still not excluded the 16-valve engine from the 1977 RAC rally. But Stieg breaks down, and Per loses a front wheel. But he replaces it with one of the rear wheels and is back in the fray on 3 wheels. Per drops to 50th place. But he doesn't lose heart. After a formidable performance, he finishes in 9th place. At this stage, Sweden is the only country in which the 16-valve engine can still compete, and also in certain events outside the World Championship Series, such as the 1978 Castrol Rally in Australia, which was a new experience for Stieg. He wades through the mud to take 2nd place. With a competition ban on the 16-valve engine and the turbo engine not yet ready for racing, only rallycross remained to keep the adrenaline flowing. The Saab stables entered the rallycross scene at an early stage and pioneered the sport in the early 1970s. For the competition management, rallycross was an excellent test bed for trying new features. What a rallycross heat can do to a car in 3 minutes must be seen to be believed. This sport suited Per Eklund down to the ground, and his dashing driving style soon put Per among the spectators' favorites. But in the eyes of the Saab management, the sport wasn't quite the done thing. So it took some time before a 99 appeared on the rallycross circuits. And when it did, it already had a turbo under the bonnet. The competition department began dabbling with turbocharging back in the mid-1970s, but was forced to give up, and work was not resumed in earnest until after the Saab turbo engine had been launched under the bonnet of production cars. But when the turbo did come, it came with a vengeance. The 1979 Swedish Rally is the first proper rally event for the turbo. The engine delivers a healthy 250 horsepower. The turbo knocks the competition out right from the start. Stieg wins. It's the first time that a turbocharged car wins a World Championship event. Development of the Saab Rally Turbo marches on in the British Championship Series, with mixed results, but it all begins well. Victory in the Mintex Rally, but brake problems and punctures put an effective stop to any more top places. Stieg comes third in the last event and also ends up in third place in the overall British Championship Series. The 1980 Swedish Rally, Stieg leads at half-time, but a puncture loses him 3 minutes. He goes on to beat his competitors in most of the speed trials. Stieg ends up in second place, 1.5 minutes after the winner. For the first time, Saab has a car that can match its rivals in engine power. But the 1980 Swedish Rally is Saab's last World Championship rally. Once again, developments overtake Saab, but it's not horsepower this time. Soon, none of these cars will be competitive. This time, the new rules allow specially built rally cars that hardly bear any resemblance to standard cars. And Saab has always regarded competition as part of the development of the standard car. The cost of competing reaches astronomical figures. Saab's competition budget is only 1/10 or even 1/20th of its rivals. All tales come to an end, and so does Saab's rally tale. The competition department is wound up in 1980. But the years of glory on the rally circuits merit a fitting epilogue. This was written in October 1986, when Saab set 21 international records and 2 world records on the Talladega circuit in the United States. 3 standard Saab 9000 turbo cars cover 100,000 kilometers each, day and night, rain or shine, under official and public scrutiny. They crossed the finishing line after 21 days, the fastest at an average speed of more than 213 kilometers per hour, including stops for refueling, tire changes, service, and driver changes. This could never have been done without the rallying heritage. And so we come to the end of the tale, but the memories live on. Memories of a rallying upstart. Memories of courage and enthusiasm. Memories of pioneers and legends.